Here's something a lot of people don't know. Castle Rock produced the Seinfeld show.
Right.
Were you instrumental in that? Did you look at Jerry Seinfeld and say, "Okay, I'll produce this"?
What happened was, and it's interesting, we did another show called Past and Perfect, which speaking about Howie Mandel. Jerry came in to audition for that, and we hired Howie Mandel, and the show went on for like 13 weeks. But George Shapiro, who's Jerry's manager, says to us, well, Jerry has an idea. Would you think of him for another idea for a show that he had? He and Larry David, they came in. And so we heard that idea, and we said, okay.
When you say you hear an idea, I'm curious. Jerry Seinfeld walks in with Larry David, and now we know they're all geniuses, but at the time, what do they do? Do they act out a couple of scenes, or do they just talk about the tone of the thing in order for you to finance it?
They talk about what they want to do with it. Now, Jerry was an established comedian. We knew Jerry. Yeah. We knew his sensibility. And I knew Larry. I mean, we knew Larry from, when he did Fridays and, from Saturday Night Live. So we knew they were two funny guys.
Right.
That wasn't the issue. The question is what was going to... And when they said they wanted to make it a show about a stand-up and how he observes things, and we said, okay, let's go with this.
And yet, most people forget, when that show came out, it was a summer show. The network signed for like 4 shows.
4 shows, yeah.
And it didn't do well at all.
No.
I remember that. And so do you feel like, oh, shit, we backed a loser here?
No, what happened, we knew we had a great show.
Right.
And they wanted to take it off the air because I don't know if you remember, in the first few shows, there was one episode where they were waiting for a table at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And they said, we can't have this show. I mean, because what is this show? It's just people sitting around talking the way. It's, they called it the show about nothing.
Yeah.
But it's become, what it is. And they were going to take it off. So I went in there and I had a screaming crazy thing with Brandon Tartikoff at that time, and I begged him, and I said, please, I promise you, there'll be stories. You can't take this show off the air. It's going to be one of the great shows you've ever had. And
because in this network environment now, they never would keep a show like that on.
No.
They wouldn't give it, and thank God they did, because it grew, and it grew an audience and all of that.
Yeah.